So I've been doing a fair bit of testing in Dokyoki Inferno. I did manage to clear it once, or actually I cleared it twice. It is not easy. So that does also showcase that a lot of these runs that you see in the replays, they are doable, but they're not 100% sound and they're all manual. I can tell you that much. So my Lily is at 156. Then we have Claws on a 120, bit slower. We have this one on a 120 as well. And we have her on a 121, but 206 accuracy. It would be nice if she also had skill 1 and skill 2 maxed, but we don't have those. So that's the part we don't have. But yeah, as mentioned, 206 accuracy. I actually tried out Mio in here, which has the skill 2 max, skill 3 max, and skill 1 also max. It did not really work. That's one of those things. Like, I was really disappointed that the Mio did not properly perform in here because freezes are just kind of inconsistent. Maybe I'll get to some team at some point where it kind of works, but let me show you, or let me try to show you how I can do a run properly. So if I do get hit on those, which is pretty common, actually I need the Messiah slow for the Messiah not to hit the others, but I did notice for some whatever reason they always hit the Messiah with a slow in here, so then it's kind of fine. Even if they attack break the Messiah in here, it's fine. We do have a Codex of Magic on you, which is also good. Since we do have that 206 accuracy, we're most likely landing all that all the time. We do have a Revelation on the Messiah right now, and therefore Messiah does tend to do very good damage. It is very common that one of them actually doesn't fully die, and that's actually also what you would like. You want actually one to survive, so you can use that one that is surviving to get the skills in for your other units. Also, a thing that I really do notice, which is very important, do not use your S2 in here, and don't use your S3. Because the moment you use S2, you're going to have a bad rotation where your sleeper is moving in front of the claws, where you want to have the claws move in front, of course. Otherwise, you cannot really do the sleep move. So do use S1s in here. So we get a bunch of hits on our ass over here. That's totally fine. You also already procced your thing. We do have another Revelation coming in, and that goes for a kill. Doesn't do a full kill, which is good. If it did do a full kill, it would have been kind of bad, because I'd rather have like a better rotation where my skills are more coming back at that moment. Let's see, we have this one going in. Oh, is this a bad rotation as well? No, it's actually kind of fine, because we hit this. Preferably you kill on this hit. Because if you kill on this hit right here, you have your claws moving, your sleeper moving, and then you can go from there. That is pretty much the best rotation you can have. So we have claws moving right now, preferably landing all of this. We have her moving, that's totally fine, doesn't matter too much. And then we have the full sleep moving. And as you can already see, this rotation is really good where all of them are sleeping, or almost all of them are sleeping. I could go for skill 3 right now, but you just simply don't want to do that. That's waking them all up, and that's a little bit too int to do. You did waste the Revelation for that. But yeah, that's just some things you just kind of got to do. Ooh, wait, did that one not sleep? Wait, how did they wake up all of them? Weren't they all sleeping? Wait, what did I miss? Wait, did Doki wake up all of them? What the fuck happened? Oh, wait, I'm an idiot. Freya's 3. I'm an idiot. Okay, redo again. Freya's 3 is AoE. I'm like so casual. It's like, that gets attack buff. Not really. Do you have your skills? Does prop the Revelation. So we have skills. That's good. Good damage. No skills furthermore just yet. I think we have another round of sleep, don't we? Yep, we do. We don't sleep on that. You don't kill. I like that a lot. Let's boost you up. Because we didn't kill, I could go for trying to kill on the right side, but I don't think I would. Can we sleep? Resisted on that sleep. Did hit the right target. That's fine for me. Man, this is such a tricky fight all the time. That's still 100% the thing. Wait, did he just get the mark? Did he get the buff? No, the right side didn't get buff, so we should still send. Also to get the invisibility. Yep, and then whole team dies. So yeah, that's how hard it is. You have to try to get like a perfect rotation off in the second round, whereas the first round can really fuck you up. That is how annoying it is to do Inferno. But yeah, let me show you on this thing. It's kind of same, but you just get less turns. So let's see if the rotation gets better. If we kill on this, rotation will be perfect. Ooh, this is really good to rotation. This is pretty much a perfect scenario rotation right now. Because you can go for this skill. Into this over here. Into nearly taking out that. Pretty much halfway. Yep. Okay, all of them take their turn. All of them have a wasted turn. We like those. Gel activation. Nearly taking stuff out. Good rotation on this as well. Random sleep on this. Nope. You sleep that. Yep. Buffs away. Is there still something with defense break? Both of them do have defense break and the shield. So let's just hit that one. I hate it when you stun. That's also a thing. Like, if that thing gets stunned, it's just so much DPS lost right away. Well, at least we can reset the cooldowns. And we have this one going in. Otherwise, we could have sent a very strong S3 over there. Wait, did he put back the mark? Nope. I freeze this. Definitely a rotation that we do want to do this regardless. I like it when you hit on that one, because that doesn't work. And now we can go for an S3 rotation. Rotations, rotations, rotations. All about them rotations. Skill 1 max on you definitely would work to have those individual sleeps kicking in as well, which is really nice. Cooldown reduce, that's good. The Halloween procs most of the time anyway, so Halloween I think is definitely a best in slot for her. Okay, should be close to kill, and then we kill on this hit over here. So yeah, that's how it's done. Is Freya better than Valerian? I think both of them kind of work, but that's the thing right now. I definitely took way longer than 2 minutes 44, but it is stated as a 2 minute 44 clear if all of the hits would go automatically all the way, all the time. So yeah, that's kind of the thing where I would say, yeah, this is so hard to auto, man. Or so hard to manual. And both. It would be nice if it showed which one was manual, which one was auto. Seattle has the own death break, which is pretty nice, so you don't have to bring claws. Okay, let's see how you do in the next rotation without your S3. No, this is a manual run as well, by the way. Wait, how are you even gonna clear this with you being stunned right now? Wait, how much damage is that still doing? Wait. Wait. How is Shiada still doing so much damage while the reduction of 90% is still there? Okay, then you can auto. Understandable. Understandable. If you don't have to care about... If Revelation just goes that much through it... Yeah, okay. If you don't have to care about the mechanic... Okay, fair. If you do... True damage should still get reduced. Like, that is nonsense. That is straight up nonsense. If you ignore the 90%, then it's straight up nonsense, yeah. Yeah, then I totally get that you could auto. Holy hell. It's true damage. True damage in every other game would still get reduced. You still reduce true damage. True damage is only ignoring defense. It's not ignoring passives. Well, in this case, it's ignoring passives, but it's kind of weird. Shadow needs S3 maxed? I think so, yeah. Yeah, that's also just straight up ignoring it. Man, if I had a Rosa, then I could definitely use Mio, actually. Because if you just ignore this shit, then I could definitely work with Mio. Incoming death nerf, I wouldn't be surprised. That thing has Revelation, it just doesn't do as much on Messiah. I would definitely reset Romocha, yeah. Romocha doesn't really cut it unless you have insane amount of damage. Well, this would work if I had a unit that pretty much just ignores all of their bullshit passive with minus 90 damage. Which should you farm? You should farm whatever the Anti-Sync Echo tells you to do, and otherwise farm shells. Or not the Anti-Sync Echo. You should do whatever the Hyperlink Charter tells you to do. Lily, Claws, Mio S3, Doki S3, or Mio S2. Oh, that would be really nice, yeah. But no, I don't have Doki Doki. That might actually be a nice one, yeah. But yeah, the big issue with Mio, even if you do an S2, it's still 20% that you miss. Even if you're at like the highest activation possible, it's still 20% that you just don't activate on the freeze, which is kind of bad. Reset Romocha for Seada. I would say so, because Romochi is not going to cut it for Doki Doki, I would say. 100% Revelation gets fixed within a week. Yeah, I'm also kind of scared with that as well. I'm also kind of scared that if I would full focus on getting a good Revelation, they start nerfing that shit. If they nerf Inferno in the process, I don't mind it. Yeah, that's kind of true. That is very true, actually. If they make Inferno pretty much doable without Revelation stacking shit, then it wouldn't be as bad. Good freeze, good freeze. But that RNG is fucked though. That's good freezes once again, actually. Really good freeze. Wait, are we gonna clear on full auto? You might be onto something with the Linglo. But then again, I had some real good RNGs on the freezes thus far. I'm 100% sure if you would do this with a Rosa, this would be very solid. Or a Seada. This would be very solid with one of those two. And the right RNG, of course. Okay, seems to be working, seems to be working. Could still see that mid dude freaking solo us at some point, but... not enough damage, that's good for me. Revelation hit. Yeah, from this point on it should be fine, because Mia also has freezes on the skill 1. Which is legit the same activation rate as the skill 2. Okay, well that's the first auto on this. Okay, Mio in the end did work out pretty decent. Still somewhat scared that this thing starts one-shotting me at some given point. Because of the full stacks. Okay, freeze, we're good. What skill ups for your Mio? Oh. Replace healer for Kazuya? I would heavily die. I would 100% heavily die. Because I did try that team already. You pretty much almost already die in the first wave. Because you remove the sleep all the time. If you would go double freeze, maybe. But you cannot go for sleep, because legit all of my characters have AoEs. Oh, wow. Why you do this? Why you do this? What's this? What's this? What's this? Why you do this? Oh, that's so bad. If that was HP based, it would be so nice. Evil Guard is good, that's the healing plus. But yeah, for the people asking, Inferno still gives a 2-liner, yeah. I'm just gonna let it auto 10 times. Let's see what the success rate is. Oh, I can only auto 5 times, of course. We're just gonna let it auto 5 times. We're gonna do some other shit, and we're just gonna see how well it does or doesn't do. Minus 10 stamina. No, minus 5. Do we want to click this? Buffs, it loses. So not surprised. So not surprised. I want to let it run all 5. Just because I'm curious. We have that? Yeah, we'll have that. Yeah, this also doesn't really work. Well, it works for manual play to a certain extent. It's too battle. But even if you do manual play, it's still kind of iffy. So to showcase all of the modules and shells, this is the Lily. Lily is a 156. If I were to instantly boost the Messiah would move in front of the others, but since a few other things move, there's probably something happening with ticks. I'm not really sure in this game, but for that reason, if other things move in front, the Messiah doesn't instantly move. Module-wise, I do have Swift Rush plus pretty much whatever gave me more stats. Didn't really focus on the accuracy. You do definitely want to be a little bit tanky. I do have full skill up on the skill 1 and full skill up in the skill 2. People were definitely mentioning, it's like, oh my god, this guy is such a will, he has 4 lilies. I pulled out of I think 200 summons like 3 lilies, so that's kind of the weird thing. And then I pulled a bunch more, so these were more free to play summons than anything, to be honest. It's just super random. I did like 19 rerolls to get a lily. Finally I got a lily in the first 10 pull, like legit the very first free 10 pull, and then I kept pulling her more and more. So yeah, that's kind of the thing on that. For the shell, I use a gigabyte, just useful to cut a bunch of turns. This thing doesn't really help her altogether, but it helps a little bit. The Messiah, you definitely want to go on Revelation. It is probably better to go for either a Rosa or a Ciara because they stack better on Revelation than the Messiah does. This thing is not really helping, but it's also one of those things, it kind of feels like murder to remove this one, right? But I got this one right off the get-go from the first one. By itself, it's a Fury plus a Onslaught that definitely helps out to boost up the attack a lot, and therefore have the Revelation work better. High crit rate is definitely what you do want to go for. Skill up wise, I have the skill 3 maxed. As of making this video, I had it until like this part skilled up. I did this part earlier this morning because it was like, okay, am I gonna put everything to Rosa to start farming with Rosa? Well, I can just, for now, put everything in Messiah, maybe reset Messiah and then put it into Rosa. I'm not 100% sure about it, but for now, I'll definitely keep the Messiah, and I want to be aiming for this one as well, because that's just a really good attack boost as well, because this 10% will equal to about like a 120 extra attack, which is a lot and a lot of attack. Wouldn't really focus on the S2. It is a nice skill, but in the end, you care way more about getting the extra attack for your skill 3 rather than the skill 2. Then we have the Claws. Claws is on a set, once again, Swift Rush plus bit of tankiness. You do want to get a lot of accuracy in, so we do have full accuracy on the right side over there. That's highly recommended. Oh, for this one, on the right side, we have crit rate, crit damage, and crit rate. You do want to max out crit rate. I would say crit damage is not that needed for Revelation. It's better to go for an attack, but I don't have another attack. But the Claws, yeah, that's the stats, and then also just decently fast, and then all of that good stuff in there. Skill ups 0. Shell, I use the Jackal Guard. It's also really not the most of recommended things for it on the this and this, but I don't really want to be removing those anytime soon. The moment that I used the Mio was on the exact same set as the Kazuya is, so they're sharing the same set, and they were also sharing the same shell, so I'll be showcasing it on the Kazuya. She had a 206 accuracy. There is a little bit less accuracy on the side of the Mio because this accuracy I don't have on the Mio. Once again, full skill 3, you're full on the accuracy on the right side. Swift Rush, little bit of extra stats for that over there. Enough speed, not super tanky, but tanky enough to actually make it work. Would be nice if I want to permanently be using her. I should maybe 6-star her, but I kind of would like to see it where I can replace Mio for her altogether. And this is also a Halloween, and Halloween helps a little bit with the lowering of cooldown. I did mention it during the video already as well. I do really like Halloween on her most. Some people say Gigabyte is better. Maybe so, but then again, this 80%, you have 2 turns to get the 80% at least once, and then you will lower this. And since she only has a passive, there's no chance to put the CD down on the skill 2 because it's passive, but only on the skill 3. So 80%, it is very likely to happen. Like double 80% is like in the end like a 90s, 92, 93 or something, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty high odds to reduce the cooldown on this all the time, and therefore you have a 2-turn cooldown on this, which is definitely really nice right there. So those are the things that I have for it. It is nice to skill her up if you permanently keep using her for the skill 1 and the skill 2 because of pushback, and also because of just more chance on the slumber. I would say mainly this one. This one is nice-ish, but on manual runs, this is really nice. On auto runs, this pretty much doesn't do anything. So those are my recommendations for the modules. Oh, then we are missing one, the Valerian. Valerian was geared like this. It's nothing too special. I did use an Artisan. I think that I've seen some people either go for an Halloween or a Codex of Magic or a whole bunch of stuff. I think all of those are fine. Artisan is also definitely fine to do on that. And you want to aim for high HP and high defense. Mine is kind of low on both, in all honesty. I did at some point also use Linglo, but I already re-geared her, so I can't really show what she was using on, to be honest. But I was working with a Swift Rush and a Strive, and then fixing the Swift Rush and the Strive just to get as many turns in as possible. She doesn't have the most insane healing at that point, but she definitely gets a lot of turns in to put her skill 3 up, to put up immunity, to put up protection, to put up will sprayers, and it was more focused on that rather than anything. Skill ups, she has none except for a little bit of tanky stats in this one and that one. I would definitely recommend that if you want to use her a lot, go for the full skill one, because the will prayer 2 turn is incredibly strong, and that is where you get most of her healing potential because of that Rockstar. So she has a 60% chance to put up a will sprayer, but if you have that higher up, it's a 75% chance, and it is also, the will sprayer is a 2-turn duration, and your will sprayer you actually put up with all of your skills. So that is a really big healing over there if you have 2 turns will prayer, and that would definitely make a lot of runs very much safer. So for me right now, how to improve this run, because of course it's not that stable, I will be trying to see if I can get Messiah to higher stats on pretty much just doing the ones over here, and then see if it goes a little bit better. Otherwise, I might have to consider to switching towards a Rosa or something, but I'm not 100% sure yet what I will do with that. But those are definitely a few options out there that I could be working on. So guys, thanks a lot for watching for this one, and hope to see you as always in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.